Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It is Friday, November the 28th. I'm Nadine Blaney. Well, the local market is expected to open modestly lower, with the market likely searching for direction as U.S. markets are closed for the Thanksgiving holiday. Futures are indicating a 26-point drop at the open. Well, sentiment remains upbeat, though, on this week's key theme, which is, of course, bets that the U.S. Fed will cut rates next month. This week, Monday to Wednesday, the Nasdaq was up by 4.1%, the S&P 500 increased by 3.1%, and the Dow Jones put on 2.5%. As you can see, Fed odds there climbing to close to 87% that we'll see a Fed cut next month. Overnight, European stocks edged up, but activity again was subdued, with Americans enjoying the holiday. In company news, two Chinese sportswear firms are considering a bid for the struggling German brand Puma. Shares jumped, though, as much as 15% on reports suggesting Anta Sports and Li Ning may team up with private equity to take Puma over. Rémy Cointreau's CEO said that he'll lower the price on cognac to sell more product, telling the market the worst was over in its key U.S. market. And JP Morgan will build a tower in London's Canary Wharf. The building is set to be one of Europe's tallest towers. JP Morgan's London build commitments comes, of course, as the UK continues to digest the country's latest budget. The budget plans to lift taxes by £26 billion. Elsewhere in Europe, an ECB policymaker said it was too early for the central bank to discuss another rate cut, with inflation still a key concern. And in Germany, consumer sentiment got off a bit of a lift, with people saying they're likely to spend on Christmas gifts and celebrations. The US dollar index was little changed on the day in holiday-thinned trade. Bond yields were also little changed. The Aussie consolidated at around 65.3 after yesterday's capital expenditure data here came in much stronger than expected. Bitcoin edged up on improved investor sentiment. Just taking a look at that U.S. 10-year, it hit 3.99%, down just 0.01. Russia-Ukraine talks remain in focus. Oil prices settled higher on low volume. Brent up just 21 cents to 63.34 a barrel. Gold slipped from a near 2-week high. Gold futures down 0.2% to $4,134.30 per ounce. Copper fell 1% after weak Chinese industrial production numbers, and iron ore rose just slightly to $107 per wet metric ton. Locally, private sector credit is due, and there are a fair few AGMs, particularly in the small end of town. Centuria Capital will be an interesting one, as well as Hyperion X. And just a reminder that U.S. markets will close early on Black Friday. Well, that does it for the day ahead. I'm Nadine Blaney. We'll see you next week.